do.
All right, COLA. COLA is the cost of living adjustment. So basically what this means is, when there's like, obviously year in and year out, what happens to everything that you see like in the market or tires or whatever. Usually everything keeps going up, right? They have to keep raising their prices because those companies have to adjust to gas prices and to whatever, right? So they have to keep increasing that. Well, what COLA is it's the cost of living adjustments. So it's basically trying to keep the income where it is for us that we can adjust to those prices. That make sense? So like, they're going to try to increase your pay to adjust to what everything else is going up. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because you would think that if they all got on the same page, it would just keep everything kind of the same and we could keep going about. Well, that just doesn't happen. So these are the little contracts between management and labor unions to keep up with things. A good example of this would kind of be like ours. This is the biggest argument with contracts every year in Catholic schools, right? We have to increase tuition all the time to meet expenses. Well, then that means our salaries still aren't adjusted, and our salaries really can't keep up because of how much money we have to raise. So, what is discouraging about this is some of this has already been falling behind because inflation just keeps on going, and most companies can't just keep raising and raising and raising what they're going to pay us, right? They just wouldn't be able to survive. So unfortunately, they find ways that they can do this with adjustments. Now, with the adjustments, it could be onto your hourly pay. It could be in a form of a bonus. It could be in the form of you kind of buying into the company. You might not necessarily buy into it, but the customers would be, or not the customers, the employees would be able to get some of the benefits that the company is giving. So you could do this annually, semi-annually, or quarterly. Remember what that means? Annually, semi-annually would be 2 times a year, and then quarterly would be 4 times a year. Or you could just do this with your adjustment to your pay. And we'll go through those problems here in just a little bit. Another way that they could do this is to give you a bonus. All right? So when they give you a bonus, this could be for certain sections of your company. It could be to the entire company. It could be at special times. Could be, like at a Christmas time. It could be if each row in our class was a different department in our company. Adrian's the head of your row, so you guys had a good month. Maybe you got a bonus for that. So there's different ways of doing this. Could be a dollar amount again. It could be, overtime pay. You would just have to figure out how you'd want to do this. Is there like a quota that you need to make every single month or every single week? And maybe each section, if you make your quota for 8 consecutive weeks or something, you get a bonus. So you'd have some kind of rating system. And this would be the encouragement of keeping everybody going on the same kind of progress. Okay, so bonuses are good, but you can't really, rely on bonuses just in general. Are you going to always get them? What happens then if you're the company's side of it and you decide, hey, I can't afford bonuses anymore? Prime example of this would be National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, right? He's waiting for his Christmas bonus to buy the pool, and then they just kind of got rid of him. Well, they didn't tell everybody that they were getting rid of him. But most of those people are relying on that. Okay, so In his case, he was doing it for kind of a extra splurge, but some people just rely on that as a part of their yearly income. So you got to think about that as the business owner. If you're going to eliminate that, I would definitely tell your people that you're going to do that, so they're not totally shocked at that time. And then the last little part that they talk about in this is something called profit sharing, and this is kind of what I was talking about. If you're a part of that system in your company, that you're quote unquote a member of the actual, I guess, buying in force, meaning do you have stocks in the company, or are you just a part of that because you are a member of that company? So, you know, Hy-Vee always has the slogan that they're employee owned. Well, that's what this kind of means. So your profit sharing would be at the end of, again, quarters or semi-annual or whatever. They would see how you're doing as a business. And if you made money, then maybe they send out a check to everybody. Well, in our case, we're probably not going to have enough, I guess, stock into the company that's really going to make a difference. But in, you know, the higher end people, the more that profit would show, the more that they would make on their stocks and everything. But again, maybe they give it to you as a portion of your 401k, your retirement fund. Maybe they give it to you as just a bonus. But the bonus comes from profit sharing, so you don't know if you're going to consistently get that. But if it would happen, maybe they write you a check, or they give you, you know, something like steaks or something. I don't know. It could be just about anything. Chickens, right? So you could have a bunch of chickens. All right. One of the nice things about the profit sharing part of this, this has to become, or if you went through that cycle and you were in profit sharing part of it, but there was an actual loss to the company, most of the time, in that case, we wouldn't have to be a part of that loss. We wouldn't have to pay for that loss as us being a part of that. We get the benefits of the good stuff, but we don't have to pay for the bad stuff. So it's kind of a nice thing. Okay? But basically, that's kind of it. So they're just trying to show you ways to keep up with the cost of living, and ways to do that is either by increasing your rate, giving you a bonus, or letting you be able to become a part of the profit. All right, so let's look at a couple of these, and then we can probably get most of this done before you leave today. Page 479. Omir earns $11.80 an hour. His employer gives him a COLA based on the 8%, or sorry, 0.8%. The CPI rose last quarter. What amount of raise will Omar get? His name changed in the middle of the problem. To the nearest cent. What will be his new hourly pay? So basically, all I'm going to do in this is take my old hourly pay times the percent of increase. So I'm going to take, now notice this is a really small percent, right? So when I use this number in my calculation, it's going to be 0.008, right? So 0.008 times $11.80. What is my increase in pay? It's only 9 cents. But realistically, 9 cents is a pretty good jump. Maybe. So he goes from making $11.80 an hour to $11.89. Not bad. Right? Letter B. Marcia earned a salary of $56,200 last year. Her employer gave her a COLA pay raise equal to the 4.8% increase in the CPI. So notice, you could do it as an hourly rate, you could do it on a salary rate. So again, same concept though. We're going to take 0.048 times the 56,000, and that'll give us the amount of basically the raise that we got, and then we take that and add it back on. So my grand total was $58,897.60. So I would say a 4.8% increase in salary pay is a pretty good chunk of change. two make sense? Turn the page. So now we look at being a part of a bonus. I don't know what that person's name is. Received a bonus of 2% of total sales for being the top salesperson in the company. Her sales for the year were $850,000. What bonus did Miss Gannon receive? So here I'm just gonna, so 2% of the total sales, so again I'm gonna take 0.02 times 850,000, and she got a bonus of $17,000. So that's a good deal right there, right? That would be a major incentive for your salespeople, right? If you have the opportunity to earn, now it's kind of a bummer at the end, right? If you kind of bust your butt the whole year and then you find out that Landon beat you by he had 850,100, then you're kind of bummed out, right? Because they're probably not going to give that 2% bonus to everybody. It's just the top person. Okay. Letter D, 14 members received a bonus of $2,000 each for finishing a project 2 months ahead of schedule. 12 support team members each received a $1,200 bonus. Now they're trying to just figure out what the company would have to spend. Right? So I'm going to take what?
2 times 4 and 12 times 1,200.
Perfect. So we get a grand total. The company spent $22,400 on it, right? But again, why would that happen? Why would you as the boss do that? Okay, one, keep the employees happy, but realistically, if your employees got done 2 months ahead of time, you probably saved a ton of money, and you probably got a bonus from whoever you're building for. You know what I mean? So you're probably using some of their bonus to, pad your people, but they don't necessarily know that.
2 months out of schedule. That's some time.
That's huge, right? That doesn't happen very often, right now. Well, I think they said, like, right now, if you're trying to build a building with steel beams, you're 6 months behind already, as soon as you start, just to get the beams. I think that's what Jeff Arnold said at Schuster. Letter E, down at the bottom. A total of $13,500 profit is to be shared equally by the company's 18 purchasing and warehouse staff. What amount will each employer receive? So here's where the profit sharing is a little, I guess, kind of what you would say, blown out of proportion in a sense. The company made $13,500 extra, or do you take all of that and give it up? These guys did. So you would take that number and divide it by 18. So each of those people got $750. And again, basically it would be a bonus. In F, it's a little different. The management of a company shared 20% of its $511,000 profit with its 65 employees. How much did each employee receive? What are we going to do in this one?
20%, 565.
I think we said it right. 0.2 times 511,000, and then take that number and divide it by 65.
Yes.
So how much did each person get?
$1,575.
$1,575. Not too bad, right? Questions? So which way do you think's the best? Would it be worth just giving it straight up on the raise at the beginning of the year? Would it be better to have kind of an incentive thing? No? Yeah, it all depends, I guess. The thing about the incentive thing, like I said, if you're only going to give it to one person and Landon wins, right